Hey guys, alright, I got a special video today. So I got a couple of my favorite knives. These are customs by Thorburn. Have a full-size L51. This one's in G10 blade steel of M390, and just above it have the L51 compact. So this is a relatively new model in Andre's lineup that I'm pretty excited to talk about. So let's get right into it. Alright, let's do a quick measuring here. Alright, so on the little guy, got a handle of 4.3 inches. On the big one, got a handle of 5.1 inches. And a blade length on the compact, I believe it's 3.25, but we're going to measure it just to check. About 3.3. And on the full size, let's do there, about 3.8 inches, so significantly smaller. One thing I want to add to some of my videos, I haven't been making a lot lately, but I wanted to add the behind the edge thickness. It's going to be a little bit hard to do, but I think that it's important. So on the Thorburn, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can, got 0.019 behind the edge. So pretty good cutting ability there, and you're going to have that with a deep hollow grind like these have. A little bit thicker on the compact at 0.025, so a little surprising there. You're going to have a little bit thicker edge on the compact than you will on the full size. Alright, so obviously those are not perfect measurements. If you've ever done behind the edge measurements, you know that it can be kind of tough. That's also a little bit time consuming. I might cut that out. Maybe I'll just add it into the videos with some editing. Alright, let's do some size comparisons. So here's a Shirogorov F95. You can see it's basically nearly identical to the full size, and a Shirogorov Neon, which is going to be nearly identical in size to the compact. Alright, some bigger knives here. Do a Direware T95. You can see it dwarfs the compact there. Put it next to the full size, and it's going to be nearly the same. So you can see you got some pretty common sized knives. One is a relatively small knife, and one's a pretty good sized knife. Here is the full size up against a Custom Knife Factory Hobart Quayback. It's going to be just, the Quayback's going to be just slightly bigger. Okay. So you can see the size is pretty typical. You have one that's a full-size knife and one that's more of a compact, pretty easy everyday carry knife. I think they both carry relatively well, but you can barely even notice that the compact is in your pocket, so a lot of people are going to appreciate that. I usually wear pretty thick jeans, or my uniform is pretty thick, so I don't mind carrying a larger knife, but depending on the person, they might like the smaller knife. Alright, the action. Alright, we're talking about Thorburns here, so we have to talk about the action, right? You can hear it, you can see the smoothness, it's just, they're butter. And both of these happen to be on ceramic bearings. They don't all come with ceramic bearings, however, if you've got any experience with Thorburns, you're going to know that their ceramic bearings and their regular IKBS are both insanely smooth. That's what they're known for. That's what's amazing about their knives. It doesn't hurt that they have a mirror polish on the flats to glide on those ceramic bearings. Right? Makes everything a little bit smoother. Now, one of the great things I don't hear a ton of people talk about on these Thorburns is the jimping. They have the best jimping of any knife that I've ever held or had the pleasure of flipping or holding. Right? So the traction that these give you is perfect. It gives you ultimate traction with zero pain. So a lot of knives give you a ton of traction, but they cut your fingers up, right? And they put those, I guess you could call them hot spots, whatever it may be, but it's just uncomfortable. You don't want to cut with that knife all day. You don't want to, you know, even on the flipper tabs, a lot of them are sharp. You don't want to flip those a lot. Case in point, the hoback, right? This jimping, while, you know, fully functional and a great knife, this jimping's rough, right? I cut with this knife and it's fine, but I don't want to do it for a long period of time. Okay, that's the difference. You can do it with these for as long as you like, and you're never going to be in pain and you're never going to feel uncomfortable. This is absolutely perfection on the jimping. The fit and finish, what is there really to say? It's a Thorburn, right? Both these are Thorburns. The fit and finish is impeccable. The coloring of the anodizing is perfect all the way through, and you got this beautiful design in the back. It's just, you know, it's exactly what they're known for, and it's exactly what you get on every single knife. It's amazing. Look at the color. Hopefully that's coming through decent there. It looks a little dull, but in real life it's a beautiful blue. And on the compact it's a little bit of a lighter blue. Hopefully that'll come through. It's a little bit lighter, but just as beautiful, just as even throughout. I love the backspacer on the compact. You get a titanium backspacer on the compacts instead of the G10 or carbon fiber on the full size. Alright, so that's just pretty awesome. Alright, the lockup. This is one thing that I think is pretty amazing about the Thorburns, right? Every single one that I've seen or owned, the lockup of the lock bar is exactly flush with the lock face. So as you can see, I mean, you could draw a line from the blade tang straight to the lock bar. It's exactly flush. Most knives aren't like that, but every single Thorburn is like that. They're all like that. This one is, every single one. It's like you can draw a line. And I've never seen one move over. They might after a long period of time, but the lockup's extremely solid. Okay, so the details on these knives all the way through, kind of talked about it already, but the anodizing being perfect all the way through, all the insets of the screws are all perfect, right? And they're all torque screws, so you can use them as you can remove them pretty easily. And that hand satin finish on all of his knives, they're so uniform. Every single one, if you look at them all, they all look the same. The mirror finishing is beautiful. Now let's talk about some of the things that are, I don't want to say not that they're bad, but they're just not as good, right? And this is gonna be something with every single knife, right? Alright, the smoothness on Thorburns is epic. However, IKBS is a pain in the butt. To take it apart, I mean, you can do it, and I complain about it, but it's nitpicking, right? That's what you have to do when you're talking about $800 knives. It's nitpicking. But the smoothness can be accomplished with a cage bearing system. You can see on the Hoback, or on the CKF I should say, it's just as smooth as these, and it uses a caged bearing system, a caged ceramic bearing system, or the Direware. Now granted, we're talking about a more expensive knife, but the Direware is just as smooth, if not smoother, with a caged bearing system. So it's a lot easier to disassemble and reassemble those knives. Okay, you're not going to be like, it's not a project to take apart either one of those knives. It takes minutes. These you're looking at, you know, oh, I lost the bearing, now I have to get one from Blade Gallery or whatever it may be. Alright, it's just a nitpick, but it is what it is. The pocket clips is another thing that although very functional. The older pocket clips on the Thorburns they're going to be in the same material as your handles. So in this case, it would be a marble carbon fiber one, or on this one, it would be a G10. However, the newer versions have these titanium clips with the ceramic ball in there, kind of beg style ball, if you will. They're very functional. They go in and out of your jeans very well, and I think that if you're talking about just function, they're great. I do think, however, that they take away from the beauty of the knife a little bit. It's a huge pocket clip, especially on the full size, and it's just not quite as beautiful as you would expect on an absolutely gorgeous knife. I mean, the lines, the details, the fit and finish, everything on this knife is gorgeous. And then to me, it's just kind of a chunk of titanium that's lost a little bit. Now, I'll give it this. It follows the exact lines of the cutout in the G10 or in the carbon fiber. It follows it perfectly. So it does have some aesthetics to it. However, I think a chunk of titanium sitting on there, it just takes away a little bit. Not quite as bad on the compact. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller. It takes up less of the frame. But it is something. It's an aesthetic thing. It's not a function thing. If anything, these function much better than their counterparts that they had previously with the carbon fiber clips or G10 clips. Okay, small thing here. It's a good thing and a bad thing. The mirror polishing on these is gorgeous to look at. It makes for an extremely smooth knife. However, they are fingerprint magnets. Just as long as I've been sitting here, there's fingerprints on it. Man, I don't even remember touching it, but they're there. So, you know, you're constantly wiping it or wiping the finish off. However, I mean, that's super nitpicking because I love it. It's beautiful. It's something that you just deal with. You use your knife and you wipe it off. Not that big a deal, but it is something to point out. Alright, this video is already running kind of long and I babble a lot, but just overall, I'm not sure you can buy a more quality knife with the type of beauty that these knives have for the price. We're looking at about $800 a piece, whether it be the full size or the compact. They're about the same price. For the materials, you know, marble carbon fiber or G10, titanium liners, ceramic IKBS, hand rubbed satin, mirror polish flats. The type of stuff you're getting in these knives with the hand finish and details, I think is unmatched for the price. You can talk about, I don't even know, maybe a Shirogorov, but a lot of people think they're overpriced, and that's ultimately a production knife. It's really hard to think of a knife that gives you as much in the package for the type of price that you're getting here. I'm going to end it there, guys. I don't want this video to run crazy long. But yeah, post your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button. And thanks for watching.